G'day guys, Tyson here from Relax Running. Today I wanted to spend a couple of minutes helping you come up with a checklist or a plan for the 24 hours in the lead up to your race. I mean, that whole process of training, the hard work that you've put in has been done, but how do we get the most bang for our buck in that 24 hours before our race? Well, the first thing we'll look at in the 24 hours before is whether or not we should run. Now, this is highly dependent on you as an individual. For some athletes, they love to get out for 15 to 30 minutes max just to roll the legs over at a very slow pace. This is usually for athletes who are training every day of the week and just feel better mentally and physically getting out there for something nice. But the truth is, for you, if you're not running every day or you're only running a few days a week, there's absolutely no need for you to get out and do something out of the ordinary, like an extra run the day before your race. So it's highly individualized. If you think you're the kind of athlete who would benefit physically, mentally by getting out for a really slow, easy run, then get out and do it. Personally, I'm one of those athletes. I like the day before a run to go out for about 20 minutes, not waste any excess energy, maybe finish with a couple of very light strides. There's something that I enjoy about just feeling a little bit of pop in my steps, which is a natural follow-up from the fact you're probably pretty heavily in taper mode right now. So ideally, you know as an individual what works best for you. It's time to apply that the day before your race. All right, so your pre-race run is done or not done, depending on what it is that you as an individual like. It's coming to the evening now. You've got the big race tomorrow morning. I'm guessing it starts early. With that said, it's nice to have a few things planned before you get out there in the morning. So here's a couple of my just essential tips which I apply for every single race I think that I've ever run. The first one, set 2 alarms. A lot of the time these races start very early and those pre-race nerves can keep us up. But we know, just like when we've got to catch a flight, sometimes it's hard to get to sleep, but when we're asleep, we are out. So make sure you don't just set that one alarm, you set that backup alarm. Before you even go to sleep though, the one thing you want to do is make sure you have absolutely everything that you're going to need set out on the bed before you pack it. The reason for this, you don't want to get up in the morning where you might be in a little bit of a rush or might be excited or nervous and not be thinking quite clearly. Have a checklist in the weeks building up to the race of things that you think would be beneficial when you get out there on race day. And then the night before, just go through and as you put your eyes on it, give it the tick of approval to say, okay, I can see it, it's there, we're ready to go. Once they're all ticked off, put it in a bag. So in the morning, you don't even have to think. You've got the items that you're going to put on, the items that you're going to take to the race, you're set to go. Another really popular question is that pre-race meal, not just the morning of, but the evening before. Now, if you're going into a marathon or a half marathon, perhaps carb loading's been a really big plan, a really big focus in the months leading up to that. I would say, don't do anything out of the ordinary. Just do what you've practiced before your big sessions or before your big morning runs. The evening before, you don't want anything new, anything fancy, anything spicy. That speaks for itself. Just do the things that you're comfortable with, that your body feels well fueled on, so that just adds a heap of confidence to the fact that you know what it is you're putting in your body. More than that, it's not just confidence, there's actually the physical benefits of the foods that you've practiced, assuming you're carb loading and things like that. The morning of the race, again, nothing fancy, nothing new, nothing adventurous. Save that until you're across the finish line. Do the things that you've been practicing in the lead up to it. That's why you've been practicing, to give yourself that confidence that it works. Another one I like to do is not just lay eyes on my race singlet and have my bib ready to put on, but make sure my bib is actually pinned on. There's nothing more frustrating than getting to a race and trying to find pins to pin your bib to your shirt. It just adds a layer of stress. So have some pins, make sure that bib is pinned onto your shirt. So in the morning you can get up, put it on, you're set. It's another thing you don't have to worry about. A lot of these are just about eliminating stress and any little interferences that get in the way of you just enjoying the morning of your race. So have that done. That's a big stress removed. Make sure as you sleep, you're charging your watch. If you like to measure your race or you want to do the splits or whatever it is, whatever GPS style watch that you might be running with, make sure that's fully charged. You don't want to be getting a couple of Ks into your race and getting the low battery warning. Make sure it's fully charged so in the morning you chuck it on, you're ready to go. One more practical thing that might be really beneficial is just revise the race info before you go to bed or before you get out there on the morning of your race. It's nice to know, okay, hey, where do I drop off my stuff? Where do I pick up my stuff? Where are the drinks along the way? Where are my family going to be standing? Just to have that in your mind, again, reduces some of the stress that you might feel by not knowing. So much of the 24 hours before is just crossing off those little fiddly jobs that might add up to be a big frustrating stressor for you overall. So be familiar with the course, be familiar with what it is that you're looking for, and then stand on that start line with confidence that you know what it is that you're stepping into. When you do get everything in place, you're ready to go, it's almost race time. Do you warm up? Well, again, that's up to you. What are you trying to get out of the race? I would say it's more important the higher level that you run. If it's your first ever marathon and your goal is just to finish, there's no need to it. I mean, you've got 5-10Ks to warm up into this race. If you're more of an elite level runner and you're warming up for a marathon or you're warming up for a 5K, I would say it's more important to be on as soon as that gun goes. So essentially, what are you trying to get out of the race that you're in? Are you trying to win? Are you trying to set a personal best? Do you need to be on from the moment that gun goes? If so, I would say warm up and warm up in a way that you've practiced. Just like the food, there's nothing new. You want to make sure that those legs are ready to roll from the moment that gun goes. The truth is, there's so many different areas of running improvement and running preparation that we can focus on the day before the race. So if there's anything that I've missed that you think would be beneficial, make sure you let us know down in the comments below. More than that, if you are a new runner, I coach a lot of recreational athletes, people who are trying to take their running game from a very beginner level to wherever it is that they're aiming to go. Got a number of options. So if you wanted to check out the Relax Running website, relaxrunning.com, I've linked that in the description below. Have a look at the coaching options and see whether there might be some value in us working together. We can kickstart with a free 20-minute Zoom call just to see if we're the right fit, see where it is that you're trying to go and whether or not I might be able to help guide you in the right direction. For now, make sure if you enjoyed that, you hit the like button, you hit subscribe. We've got new videos coming out every single week. If you do want more in the meantime, make sure you check out the Relax Running podcast. We've almost done 200 episodes as I record this, and we've been lucky enough to get a number of the best coaches and athletes and those surrounding the teams in the world to talk about some of the most helpful tips on improving your distance running game. But for now, happy training, good luck for your race, and let's continue that conversation down in the comments section below.